G'day guys, welcome to GranTurismoCoach.com. This is the very first video that we're making, and before we actually get into the game, let's go and have a quick look at some of the settings that you will need to take care of before you can really enjoy the full Gran Turismo experience. If you're going to be doing online racing, I totally recommend you come into the network settings here, go set up your internet connection and make sure that you are connected with a LAN cable. You don't want to use Wi-Fi when you're doing online races because the Wi-Fi introduces a fair bit of lag to the server and you're going to have a bad experience. You can see I've also set a static IP address and you can do the port forwarding in your router. There's various websites online you can look up how to do that, so I'm not going to get into it here. The main thing is make sure you're on a LAN cable for online racing. Second thing, you want to make sure you've got a fast response time from your monitor. If you ideally you should be using a computer monitor or a gaming monitor, and you want to make sure that you have a very fast response time. You want to be looking for a less than 5 milliseconds response time from a gaming monitor. If you're using a television, it's going to be up around 60-70 milliseconds, and again you've got a lot of input lag between what you see and what you do in response with your pedals and wheel. The 60 hertz is fixed in Gran Turismo, can't do anything about that, but just make sure you get a high response, a very fast response time. If you're on a television, you can usually go into the settings and make sure you put it in game mode. You'll sacrifice a bit of color quality, but the television will respond much quicker than if you've got it in like cinema mode or something. And similarly, even on a gaming monitor, it has various modes. You should go in and make sure your gaming monitor is also in game mode. Now the last tech tip, I can't even show you on the screen here because it's to do with your hardware, and it specifically will be dealing with your pedals and your chair. You want to make sure that your pedals are fixed to the chair in some way. If you push hard on the brake, you cannot have your brake pedals moving away even a couple of millimeters or some sort of flex. So put down a board if you have to. If you don't have a rig, put a board down and screw your pedals to the board, or in the very least get a strap of some kind or a rope and tie it between your chair and the pedals so that they cannot move away when you press hard on the brake. The wheel itself needs to be fixed really solid. You'll find that some people will clamp it or bolt it to a coffee table or something, but it's fine if you've got a really heavy table so that no matter what happens with the wheel, the table doesn't move. But don't put it on something small because the force feedback will get quite severe. You'll find when you're really into the game, you make some pretty solid movements on the wheel. So ideally have a very large table that it's either clamped to or get something totally fixed. But the main point is that make sure your pedals do not move in relation to your wheel. That's it for the tech tips. Let's jump straight in now and find out how to be fast in Gran Turismo.